Welcome to the With Interest summer season. Today, you'll be hearing an audio article from INTHEBLACK Out Loud, CPA Australia's curated selection of audio articles from In the Black. If you like today's show, make sure you follow In the Black Out Loud in your favourite podcast app or by clicking the link in the show notes for this episode.
Authentic vulnerability at work. Authentic vulnerability in the workplace is a valuable leadership skill. It can promote inclusivity and motivate people to contribute their best work. By Beth Wallace. Article begins. The stress and burnout that have permeated the working environment in recent years have increased the importance of empathy at work. Empathy and authentic vulnerability have become vital in the workplace, and both are often regarded as key leadership traits. Philip Ralph, Managing Director of leadership development company The Leadership Sphere, says, although vulnerability has historically been perceived as a sign of weakness, it simply means expressing what you think about an issue or topic, or how you authentically feel when you don't know the outcome or how it will be received. Ralph believes that workplaces have a lot to gain by building open cultures, particularly when it comes to eradicating toxic behaviors such as bullying and harassment. He says, I think vulnerability and authenticity lie at the root of human connection. They are the antidote to poor behavior. But I think a lot of it gets closeted away because people don't have a voice to speak up. Championing authentic vulnerability can deliver many other benefits too. When leaders normalize asking for help, taking ownership of mistakes, and sharing feedback, it forges deep connections among teams, making people more likely to listen to, cooperate with, and trust each other. Vulnerability enables open and robust discussions in which people are not afraid to voice ideas that go against the grain. Ralph adds, being able to build stronger teams that are honest with each other can really catapult them into a whole other level of performance. American research professor Brené Brown is arguably the world's biggest advocate for vulnerability. She has been singing its virtues for decades, most famously in her 2010 TED Talk, The Power of Vulnerability. While describing vulnerability as the birthplace of joy, belonging, creativity, authenticity, and love, Brown also sees it as an essential to innovation. The team at 3D body scanning and data insights company BOD understands Brown's message all too well. As pioneers of 3D body scanning technology, BOD has established a culture that views vulnerability, and particularly failure, as an essential component of growth. Rob Fisher, CEO and co-founder of BOD, says innovation requires a certain level of creative thinking and a really tenacious approach to problems. But it also requires a large propensity for calculated risk and an acceptance that there will be failures along the way. Since launching BOD in 2016, its founders have strived to make their team comfortable with failure. In the early days, this included weekly sessions titled Clangers and Bangers, during which employees were invited to share their mistakes and wins. Since launching BOD in 2016, its founders have strived to make the team comfortable with failure. In the early days, this included weekly sessions titled Clangers and Bangers, during which employees were invited to share their mistakes and wins. While they have since refined the forum to focus on the company's major deliverables, Fisher says the sessions are still an opportunity for staff from the top down to publicize their challenges. He says, this ensures that everyone has visibility over what other people in the company are doing, but also gives them a finger on the pulse of the cadence and success or failures and challenges that have been faced along the way. Vulnerability, however, is not exclusive to challenges. For Fisher, it also means celebrating wins and other people in a genuine and humble way. He says that authentic leaders should be open to giving praise, showing appreciation, and acknowledging that they are not always the experts. Fisher and co-founder David McLaughlin intentionally surround themselves with people who are smarter than they are. He says, it's our job to be the cheerleaders and get really smart people in their domains to come in, take ownership. He says, it's our job to be the cheerleaders and get really smart people in their domains to come in, take ownership, perform like guns, and then be proud of the work they're doing. Customer relationship management company HubSpot has featured high on the list of Glassdoor's best places to work in recent years. This is largely due to its commitment to creating a diverse and inclusive community where every person can do their best work and show up as their authentic selves. Vulnerability is part of the operating system at HubSpot, and the company offers training opportunities and tools to help employees develop it as a skill. Managers, for example, are equipped with diversity, inclusion, and belonging discussion kits to help them foster authentic conversations about tough topics. Likewise, failure forums allow HubSpotters to share stories about the mistakes they have made and the lessons learned from them. Kat Warboys, Asia Pacific Managing Director at HubSpot, explains that the goal is to build a safe work environment where new ideas are both encouraged and expected. Warboys says, it's been well documented that employees who feel motivated, purposeful, and supported at work are more likely to bring positive outcomes to their teams and work hard for those around them. She believes workers should be able to choose where they want to sit on the vulnerability spectrum. Philip Ralph agrees, adding that leaders should honor employees' sharing styles and preferences, making allowances for different cultural backgrounds, histories, experiences, tenure, and a range of other factors. Ralph says, we can only do that by connecting with people and understanding who they are as individuals, rather than taking a one-size-fits-all approach.
You've been listening to With Interest, a CPA Australia podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, help others discover With Interest by leaving us a review and sharing this episode with colleagues, clients, or anyone else interested in the latest finance, business, and accounting news. To find out more about our other podcasts and CPA Australia, check the show notes for this episode. And we hope you can join us again for another episode of With Interest.